Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 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 Hold on, let me look around and see if there's anything. Testing. Okay, we're good now. Huh. I don't know what happened. Well, as I said before, the game has been good to me. And what I wanted to talk about was related to what we had a discussion on earlier. Now, some of you remember the other day, we had a discussion about one of my mentees, someone that I guide and tutor, about finding out that his boss was crooked. He found out that his boss was into some things that were totally illegal, and he asked what to do. Let's see. Now we're in a situation where, let's see. Okay, so thank you. Now it looks like I'm good. All right. Well, it looks like finding out someone is a cheater is related to also finding out someone is a scam artist. What I wanted to show you right now, and I'm going to show you something for two reasons. One, I show it to you guys all the time because some people need this information. I'm going to show you my LinkedIn. For the record, anyone who wants to know anything about who I am professionally, add me on LinkedIn. Anyone who wants to know who I am professionally can add me here. And I'm going to tell you why this is important. If you scroll down, it gives a very clear indication of what I do. My main chunk right now is I help people who are from other countries move to Brazil and not speak Portuguese, learn to speak Portuguese through some of my staff, but more importantly, do their paperwork. You can read all the paperwork that's done here. Now, here's the trick to it. There is somebody, and I'm intentionally not going to mention this person's name, because what I don't, oh, doggone it, hold on. Things are just getting complicated. All right. Now, there's someone, and I'm specifically not going to mention who, and you'll understand why, who I'm in a group with. And this person said, I've looked at YusefWateef on LinkedIn. I look at all the things that he does. I think it is a scam that people pay YusefWateef for the things that he does. Now, to be clear, let me show you what I do. Visa, residency permit applications, processing identification numbers, helping people get translations and apostilles. By the way, if you don't know what the word apostille means, talk to me before you start traveling because that's an important word. All these things. And I have clients that come from all walks of life. And I'm proud to say that my clients have been happy with me. Well, this guy goes on to say that I am a scam artist. And a few people in the group said, well, okay, can you tell us why this guy is a scam artist? He said, well, the things he's teaching people how to do, they could do on their own. He's making a profit on things that you or I could do. And the scary part was this. He legitimately believed that that vector of attack was enough to make people say, you know what? Wateef really is charging people for things I could do. And it was at that point I agreed with him. But let me explain to you where he tripped up. You see, he thought people purchasing services from me they could do on their own with a scam. What people purchase from me is time. He didn't think about that. He also didn't take into context that you need to have evidence before you accuse someone of not being who they say they are. I don't care what we think. I don't care what our emotions tell us. Emotions play no place in the decision-making process of a successful man. What he didn't, thank you, Josh. Thank you, Jose. Jose, you can't speak anything. I don't know if it's Jose or Jose. I don't even know what country you're in, but you got to pay to learn. Here's what he couldn't quantify. One is that because he spoke openly about me in an expat space, He had no idea the significant number of people in that place were clients of mine who I helped do things internationally. I started getting messages saying, hey, I'm going to straighten this guy out. And I said, no, don't. Don't say anything. Don't say anything at all. My name stands on its own. So this guy's calling you a scam artist. But let me tell you why the plan backfired. Because I don't want anyone here to do the same thing. I would like to believe the people here are above actions like that. But if you ever thought about accusing someone of being a scam artist, there's something that you need to realize. If you can't prove that person is who they say they are, you have just thrown your reputation out the window. The beautiful part is that I come from an internet age. You know, I became internet savvy after I was an adult. I was on chat rooms, chat boards a long time ago. Before YouTube, before Facebook, before High Five. Y'all don't know about High Five. Before Black Planet, before Mijinchi.com. Y'all don't know about that if you're too young. They have a rule. Don't feed the trolls. Trolls are people who do something called shitposting, where they try to slander someone and say terrible things, and you never reply to them. Because here's what's happening. The scary part, whether or not this is true, Al, and I'll get to something in a second. He says, Al said that guy wanted you out because he was threatened. He wanted control of the group. It wasn't my group. I was not admin of that group, so there was nothing to be threatened by. You must produce and defend your position. But here, phases by Puritas, you beautiful woman. When are you gonna come back and hang out with us? Yeah, you remember High Five. Here's the two things he didn't figure out. One, people don't pay me because they need me to do something they couldn't do themselves. However, you have to put in the time to A, learn Portuguese, B, learn the system, C, learn the things that you can't find out online, like which police station is the best one to go to for certain paperwork at certain times. That's not going to be on the internet. That's what you're paying someone to do. What neighborhood is best to live in, despite what that Yahoo review says, live in this neighborhood. Well, that's a great neighborhood if you want to pay 15 times more. Or live here near this famous thing. Well, that's a famous thing during the day, but at night it's kind of like the freaks come out at night in Thriller, but you wouldn't know that. That's what they pay me for. You could do it on your own. Just take the time to learn Portuguese or hire a Portuguese staff like I do with my money. But this is where it gets ugly. All right, I'm going to hold you to that. Y'all saw her say it. Whenever you need me, I'm here. I want to go back to this time and energy or your economics, and you have to pay to learn. Here's what he never planned on and that I didn't even see coming. All the people in that group, I would say, and I'm just going to rough math it here, 90% of them didn't care either way. They just wanted the drama to stop. And by drama to stop, what they realized is they wanted him to shut up because I refused to play. What I did is this. I said, if I've ever misrepresented myself to anyone, here's who I am professionally. It's the same name I do everything under. Feel free not just to look at my resume. Feel free to contact people that I've done business with and business that I've done business with and find out, hey, is this guy YusefWateef who he really claims to be? That's the thing. Find out, is he who he really claims to be? That's when it got weird. Some people in the group started to research me. I don't know how many. What I do know is there are people who didn't even know my name until this guy started slandering me, read up about me, found out who I was, and became my clients. This guy talked people into giving me money to do what I do professionally by trying to slander me, which caused them to Google the name of someone who they never would have thought about before. I was just another face in the crowd to them, another guy with another business. And by the way, shout out to Brother Ned. He just left a great shining reference for me. He says, after working internationally for a decade, I became a client of YusefWateef through professional recommendations, and he was every bit as good as he was told. He and his bilingual staff worked with me throughout the entirety of the relocation process and still continue with ongoing support. He has my recommendation. See, that makes me feel good. Brother Jeffrey Johnson, that comes by all the time, you can read the wonderful words he said about me. When they found out who I was, when they went through and started Googling my name, they found out he's more than they bargained for. And the beautiful part about it is I never engaged the guy. I never fed the troll. I never actually spoke to him. I just told everyone, by the way, I don't want to be in a group where these things happen. So here's who I am. If anyone wants to find out who I am and what I do, all you have to do is look me up. Here's my phone number. I'm open to scrutiny. What do my cousins say when what do the cool kids say? Pull my file. Feel free to pull my file. Feel free to throw my name around. See what comes back. Because here's the trick. No one, no man who is respected, no man of any relevance will ever say, hey, that guy Wateef, I don't like him. And then you say, well, why don't you like him? Did he scam you out of some money? Well, no, that's not it. Oh, I know, Wateef, did he tell on somebody? Did he snitch when he should have been able to keep a secret? Well, no, that's not it either. No, that's not it. Well, why don't you like him? I don't know. He's just kind of, the word they're trying to say is arrogant. True. Kind of stuck up sometime. Yeah. Always speaks with certainty like he knows what he's talking about. I do. Because here's something I learned. If I say it, I lived it. If I say I can do something, I really can. And people get really angry when someone they don't like is able to be who they want to be. I say this because words mean things. And in the technology era, nothing we say will ever be erased. One of the things I was careful to do, and I always say this, if I said, by the way, everything I say, even though this is a private group, it's for public consumption. Feel free to screenshot what I've written from any chat you've ever been in with me and share it with the world. See, they call it the Jumbotron test. I think a lot of things that I shouldn't say out loud. I just don't. If there's something that I think is going to be negative or come back to bite me in the ass later, or I don't have any evidence for it, let me be clear. If there's something that I think that I don't have any evidence for, I don't say it. I'm not going to help someone gain street credibility by being a man with a reputation who threw his reputation down over something with no evidence. How do we deal with that? Easy. Tell you how we deal with it. We deal with it by making sure our names are completely rock solid. We do it by not engaging in low-level conversation with people. When attacked, I do the one thing they never plan on. I let the people who know who I am defend me, even in their silence. I let that person ramble, and say, hey, what do you guys think? Now, interestingly enough, this guy did start calling people, looking for allies to be able to say, he's not who he is he? And then those people would call me and be like, I just had a weird conversation that was slightly uncomfortable. He wanted me to, he was trying to bait me into saying something negative about you, or you're not legitimate, or your company is somehow, and it was weird because I said, listen, all I can say is don't answer the phone, or whatever you say, tell the truth. This guy made me money by trying to slander me. This is the most balls out insane thing that's happened to me in a while. A long time. Hey, Vlog, thanks for listening. Keep your eyes on the road. Good evening, Francielli. Again, you must be able to produce and defend your position. And I'm going to go even farther. When you have evidence that someone has done wrongdoing, I don't necessarily believe that you do yourself any favors by trying to slander them publicly. If you feel that someone has done something illegal, criminal, something that's hurt other people, the worst thing you can do, if you have evidence, is tip your hand to that. Because if you're threatening somebody who's a real criminal publicly, who has a lot of stuff riding on lies and bullshit, that guy might mess you up. Me, I don't have to do anything. My name stands on its own. And this guy found that out the hard way. And I also want your opinion on this. By the way, leave comments in the comment section if you're watching this later. If I was to find out that somebody really was a criminal and doing something wrong that was hurting other people, the last place I'm going to go with that is the internet. I would have a long talk with the guy in the mirror and say, is it worth getting involved? Do I want to go to the police with this? Because there is no half measure. One of the ways that I use to filter whether or not something I'm being told is true, if someone tells me something and they say this thing is terrible, woohoo! Thank you. That's going to buy me some suco de laranja. The situation probably made you think of high school, someone trying to publicly slander you and failing. Yeah, it's weird because people feel like because they don't like you, you must also be stupid. That's one of the logical fallacies. I can't remember what the name of it is. Because I don't like this person must also be bad, as opposed to just saying, I don't like this person, so let me stop associating with them, and I'm not going to give this guy any free publicity. I'm not going to give this person any free shine. I don't even know if the guy researched me on his own before he did that. It was awkward. It was very awkward. And to the best of my knowledge, it didn't gain him anything other than a reputation of being somebody who causes trouble where there was none. I'm proud to say that I'm valuable to a lot of people. And having proven my value, having my value validated by other successful men, it made me feel good to never have to say anything in my own defense, other than, if you believe what he is telling you, research it on your own and come back. I'll tell you a tactic that I take from my years as a financial professional. When I was a financial professional, one of the things that would happen is, let's say there's a client. Let's say you're going to be my client. And you sit down with me and I present to you a financial package. But then you sit down with another guy in another company, present a financial package, and he sits down with you and said, well, this is why you should go with my company. My clients would often tell me, they'd say, YusefWateef, there's this other guy from this other company, and I know he's your competition. He's given me some feedback on some other things that I should be doing with my money that's different from what you're doing, and he presents a pretty good case. My answer is this. Let's call him, set up a three-way lunch. I'm going to take 15 minutes to present my case to you. I'll let him take 15 minutes to present his to you. No matter what you decide, I'm paying for lunch. And you know you got the best product. Let's just call that other guy from you. Do you have his card on you? Do you have his number in your phone? And they look at me like, are you serious? Yeah. Let's call him. Here. Hey, my name is YusefWateef. I'm over here at a different financial institution. I'm here with our client, with a potential client. We're on the speakerphone. What I'd like to do is invite you to lunch next week with this potential client, take 15 minutes to present your situation, your case for his financial future, and I'll do the same thing. So we're both open and on the table. I'll present to him the pros and cons of mine. You can present the pros and cons of yours. And then we can let the client decide. That way, this client gets the financial help that they need faster. They never take the argument. They always say, I got something to do. They never want to look you in the eye, because when you have what you claim to have, nobody wants that in face-to-face. Thank you, BK. I started getting on my soapbox. I forgot to tell people to hit the like button. This is a very important thing. Hit the like button, please. More importantly, leave a comment down below whenever you watch this. The world is a small, small place. It's much smaller than you think it is. When you say something about someone, they're not just looking at the person you're accusing, they're looking at you. They're going to find out what is your track record. Are you someone that has a sterling reputation of never causing trouble, never slandering, and when you say something, it's true? Here's the trick. The people that are the first ones to try to slander someone or talk trash, they're never someone with a good reputation. They're never that guy who you can look at and say, wow, I've known this guy for years. He's never slandered anyone, so I guess I can take this seriously. No, it's going to be somebody who you can scroll up on the group feed online, or scroll up on the group feed on your phone and find he's done shit posting for other people too. And it makes you that kind of person that just, I'll tell you something I do on YouTube. Some of you guys have given me suggestions of people whose channels are much larger than mine, and say, why don't you do a collaboration with this person? And I'll say, well, I saw that person on another channel and they said some things in a way that I don't agree with. So I just quietly block them from mine, because I don't want to be a part of that type of discussion. Did I slander that person? Did I even say they were wrong? I just said, I want no part of it. And I only said that to the person who asked me. Built my reputation up with that person. Made that person look at me and say, wow, at least if Wateef doesn't want to have something to do with someone, he's smart enough to just quietly walk away. Because remember, if I start ringing the fire alarm and 1,000 people hear it, out of that 1,000 people, 100 are going to go the other direction and look what the fire is. And out of that 100, 10 of them are going to jump in the fire. I'm not giving people that action. Hey, thanks for showing up tonight. I appreciate it. I needed to share this. I needed to share this because I want the people watching this A lot of you guys have been here on this YouTube channel and with my company and have watched it grow. As a matter of fact, BK was responsible for something that has become an integral part of what we do, my Patreon group. My Patreon is less fun and more business and money. I'm going to give you guys a link to my Patreon because this is what I tell everybody. Go to my Patreon, take a look at what it is, okay? I'm not going to force you guys to read all of the things that we do there, but what I will ask is that you take a look at the Patreon and find out. As a matter of fact, when I'm done with this, I don't get to leave my sofa. We're having our monthly roundtable. Everyone on my Patreon, at the very least, we get together once a month, all of us, to share business ideas, what we've done successfully, and more importantly, how we can help each other. And we do that once a month. Tonight is our monthly for December. There's a small part of me that feels bad for this person because I wonder what has to happen in your life that makes you attack someone that you didn't have to attack, to say things that you didn't have to say recklessly. Like, what has to happen in your life to become someone who entertains the idea that if I attack this person and slander this person, it'll make me look better? I wonder if that worked for that person as a child. Did that work for them as a child? I wonder, were they in a situation in life where that behavior was rewarded? How did they grow up? Did they grow up in a family or a social group that said, that's what we do here, is we're going to say things about people and say bad things about people? I can't help this person, by the way. One of the things about men, and I'm going to talk about men hitting the wall, we often hear about women hit the wall. Let me tell you when men hit the wall. When you're in your late teens and 20s, when you make a mistake, older, more established men will stop, put their hand on your shoulder, and try to help you to change your behavior to something more positive. Once you're over 30, people just say, what have you done? And whoever you are, this is who you are. The person that did this is well over 30. I'm not in a position to try to sit down and talk to them about what they said as I would if this was one of my mentees of any age, or if it was just somebody in their 20s who kind of got a little ahead of themselves. I would actually call them and say, listen, can we have a cup of coffee? Can we sit down and talk about what you said? But at that age, all I can do is watch him dig his own grave. Listen, thank you. I appreciate all of you showing up. Stay clean, wash your hands, stay indoors when you can, respect public policy officials. Don't look for your mayors or presidents. Look at the people with the words MD and PhD behind their name and just funnel that down to who you decide to believe. I don't really care which one you take. Just take advice from qualified people. Good night. Be safe. I'll see you guys later this week, maybe tomorrow. For those of you who are watching this that are in my Patreon, I'm going to go log in there. We're going to go have our private discussion. And I feel good that I got this off my chest, and I hope that I can give you guys something to take home with you tonight. Maybe tomorrow will be a little bit more cheerful.